All right, we got the backup man up here now. But Dale Earnhardt Jr. Joins us. He drives the number 88 Diet Mountain Dew Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. And Dale, come up to Martinsville, certainly a track you've had some good runs at. And just talk about how you like to get your second win of the season here at Martinsville this weekend.
Yeah, this is a track I've been trying to get a win at for a long time. And I grew up in a house full of clocks, so it's been one that's been pretty elusive. We've had some good cars in the past here that I've felt like could have won races, and we just weren't able to get the job done for whatever reason. Somebody was faster or whatever. But looking forward to having another opportunity. Just every time we come here, we're excited. I love short track racing. I love this track. I love the history of this place, what it represents, and it's a joy to run here and a lot of fun to race. It can be frustrating, and you got to battle all day long to maintain your track position, but it's a good challenge, a fun challenge.
Take questions now for Dale. We'll start here with Jared, then we'll go all the way back in the back to Jeff, and then we'll go to Bob. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jared Turner, Fox Sports. I apologize, Dale. This is a Charlotte question at Martinsville. What is the key, Dale, to staying mentally focused in a 600-mile race?
Just having something to occupy your mind, is enough. If the car is competitive and your team's communicating with you and keeping you busy, keeping you on task, those are keys to being able to stay focused when you see yourself with an opportunity to win the race going into the last 200 or 150 miles. It's pretty easy to stay on task and stay focused. When the car's not handling well, you're struggling to run inside the top 10, that's when you can frustration can kind of creep in and become and that just becomes another hurdle for you. So you have to be pretty disciplined to stay on task and just focus on trying to improve, no matter no matter how the thing's starting to shape up. Because those last 100 miles are very you realize mentally and physically that it's a unique race due to that extra 100 miles. It's a very long night, and you just have to be sharp all night and try to push yourself to stay disciplined.
All the way in the back, if we can get to Mike, Jeff, and then we'll come to Bob, and then Claire. Go ahead.
Hey, Dale. Jeff Ross, ESPN. Your two teammates, Jimmy and Jeff, we talk about them when we come to Martinsville. What specifically can you take from watching them run around here that you can apply to your setup?
We use a program called Dartfish where basically it overlaps my lap with another car. Maybe we look at the guys who sat on the pole or qualified in the top 3 and then look at my qualifying lap. I can do that for last year, the year before. We can go as far back pretty much as we want and see what guys are doing differently, how they're getting in the corner, how they turn into the corner. I can try to learn things that way. But as far as my teammates go, I'm out on the track with them. I know their tendencies, and it depends on how their car's driving and how their car's handling as to how they're going to run, drive the corner and approach each corner. And Jeff, has a real good knack for finding out how to get his car around this place. Depending on how his car drives, he can change his approach to the corner and how he enters the corner to affect the speed on his car quite well here. Obviously, Jimmy's got a lot of success here, but he seems, to be very consistent in how he drives and deliberate in how he drives this track. It just, they're definitely two guys that have had a lot of success here. So you sort of tune in to what they're doing, how they're setting up their cars, and what their comments are about their cars. You try to stay on top of that and try to understand how their weekend's going and try to use any of that stuff to your advantage for sure.
Let's go to Bob here on the front row, and then over here to Claire, and then to Alan. Go ahead, Bob.
Bob Parker, Sporting News. Denny Hamlin kind of released a statement on Wednesday that kind of laid out kind of what happened on Sunday. I was curious if that answered your questions and or if you did any, or if you have had any conversations with other people that have answered your questions.
Well, I feel real comfortable with the process, and I just was worried. I thought that the lack of a statement from Denny's point of view left him vulnerable and unprotected, and I just felt like that it was important for him to have a very simple statement that sort of cleared up any kind of assumptions or whatever you have for him personally. So that was good, I thought, on his behalf to be able to do that as quickly as he could. But I feel great about the process and what NASCAR's had in place for years. I feel like, they bring in the best people from that region that have the best connections to those hospitals in that region. If I'm in trouble, I know I'm going to be somewhere where I can get taken care of very quickly. NASCAR has a team that travels and has all the information on our health, and it's updated weekly if it needs to be. So I like the system we have in place. I feel like it's adequate, and I'm happy Denny's cleared and ready to race this weekend.
Come over here to Claire, and then we'll go to Alan and then Dustin.
Claire B. Lang, Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. When it comes to Martinsville, and you're so good here but haven't won, and I just asked a question of Jimmy, and he said it is a little bit of, if you're careful about protecting your position, you get to the top 5, he's more offensive than he is looking around. Now, the chase format may change that for you, that, you were saying earlier in the week that you sort of being protective not to get involved in anything here. I wonder if that changes here for you and the confidence level is part of winning here and maybe being more offensive. And then one other thing added to that, Jeff Burton said that he thought that there'll be, somebody pushing somebody out at the end of the race because this track lends itself at the start-finish line to that.
Yeah, we've had that happen in the last couple of years, regardless of how the point system is stacked up. We've had guys pushing each other around here quite on a regular basis. So I assume if there's anyone within reach on that last lap of the leader's going to have his hands full. So, and that's fair. So I can tell you though, as far as being offensive, defensive, you're only as offensive as your car will allow you to be, and I can attest to that over the last 6 years. That if your car's fast enough, you want to drive it as far as it can go, and if your car's quick enough to be in the lead, you want to get it there, and if it's not, you go as far as you can and try to defend that situation and wait till you have an opportunity to improve the car. But I don't think I've ever raced here with I've never really ran here walking on eggshells. I think you can get in trouble pretty quickly if you do that. You definitely have to be offensive all the time and always try to be aggressive in how you drive the racetrack and how you race with the competition.
Let's go to Alan, Dustin, and then Ed. Alan, raise your hand there, Alan. We'll get you the mic. Dustin, and then Ed.
Alan, come on to NASCAR.com. Dale, it's Hendrick's 30th anniversary, and you probably have some of the best perspective in the garage as to remembering back when it started. What has that evolution been like from your perspective, and then being able to, ultimately join the company later in your career?
Yeah, it's been, it's been interesting to see how HMS has progressed and changed and evolved, but they were tough competitors when I was young, going to races, watching my father race. They were it seemed like they had so many resources, and they were, they had quite the dynamic when it came to drivers, and it was just a team that always was going to be challenging for the win and challenging for championships, and especially once Jeff got there, they were almost unstoppable at that particular point in the 90s. And ever since really Jeff got there, they've just never fell off. They've always maintained their status as one of the top teams with a lot of growth and success, and they just have I think that's credit to the people working there, management, just a lot of great decisions, putting people in key positions, understanding people's talents and being able to maximize their potential just in management and other key roles in the company. And obviously Rick has a influence on his employees. Everybody really strives from the top to the bottom to give their best, and it's a cliche, but it's so true when you actually get to work there and get behind closed doors and see the influence that he has just on individuals. Everybody just pushes so hard to do something good every day, and it makes everybody else's job that much easier. So it's just a good reflection of his influence on the company as a whole. But yeah, it's fun being a part of it. Being able to, all those years as a young kid before I drove, and then as a driver competing against them, you always wonder what's the culture like. And then when you get behind there and seeing how they're working on their cars, how they set their cars up. I mean, for years you'd wanted that access, and to finally have it, it's pretty pretty mind blowing in certain areas. But it's been a fun experience for me.
Let's go to Dustin over here to the far right.
Dustin Long, MRN.com. Of all the successes you've had here at this track, what's the one that got away? Or is it 2011? Is it 8? Or is it earlier when you had that run of thirds and fourths here?
Yeah, I think you look at all of them and see how close you came. Just, we flat got outran by Kevin that one year in 11. I thought we had it. Thought we were going to be fine once we got out front, but he was so fast. I tried to get under him in 3 and 4, but he didn't have no bumper left to move. So I went in there to shove him a little bit, and everything on that corner of his car was gone. But and that's just how it works out. But we had run. I think the best car I had here was when we knocked the right front fender off, and we ended up running 4th that day. I was coming back through the field and spun out on the inside of Newman in 3 and 4. And had that not happened, I think we would have been in position to win the race because we were by far the quickest car. We had to go back to the back of the field after that one spin, that additional spin, and we didn't have enough race left to get back to the front. We ended up finishing 4th, but that car was really, really fast. Having that fender tore off kept that right front tire cool, kept it turning, kept the brakes cool. It was just we were kind of an average car for 10 laps, and then after that it just take off. So I've been trying to figure out how to get my fenders to fall off ever since. But we ran into a few things, but they just seem to bend and get taped up. But no, it's I hope we can be competitive. It just gets harder and harder because the competition seems to get better and better every time I come back here. And obviously I'm racing with my teammates who are 2 of the most talented and successful guys at this track. So we got a tough hill to climb, but hopefully we can maybe get it done.
Got time for one more question. He's got to get ready for practice, and Ed Harden, I'd promised him. So Al, I'm sorry.
Thanks, Kerry.
Just once.
Dale, if we have a new winner every week, at what point does it alter the chase strategy, and do you kind of foresee a new chase strategy developing?
Yeah, I think it'll change as it goes, as we start to see it happen. If we have a new winner every week, if we get into week 13 and 14 and we got 12 winners at that particular point with 10 races left in the regular season, guys are going to get a little more protective of their position and points. I hope that we don't really get to that situation. You'd like to not have to worry about it. The whole process of going through Daytona and winning and feeling like we were in was a great feeling, and not having the burden of worrying about points and being able to just race one weekend after the next and not worry about anything else was great. Having to fall back into that mode of concentrating on your points position, your track position, maximizing every race to get the most points, that's a bit of a burden, but one we always dealt with year after year, and this year it seemed to go away. But if we get into about 12th or 13th week and we still don't have a 2-time winner in the season, I think guys are going to start to change the way they think about points. I don't think the racing changes. I don't think the competition and the product changes. I just think guys pay a little more attention, and if you were at all careless, you'll be shoring up all that stuff so you're not making mistakes out on the racetrack. It'll be the pressure will rise for sure. The intensity, I think, on the racetrack will stay the same, if not increase.
Dale, thanks for coming in. Good luck this weekend at Martinsville.
Thank you.
Thank you.